Hey, what's up? This is Brandon Simmons for BrandonSimmons.biz, and this is my column Black Quarterback. I'm just coming through right now to give you my picks for this weekend's NFL Conference Championship games. So, the first game on the slate is going to be the Baltimore Ravens hosting the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, last week, Baltimore had a bit of a bumpy start in the first half of their game against the Houston Texans, but in the second half, they came back out and they put the Texans away easily, winning the game 34-10. Lamar Jackson, he had an MVP performance, putting the team on his back, rushing for 100 yards on the ground, but also throwing for 152 yards in that same game. As far as the Chiefs go, they had a choppy game from start to finish, basically. So the Chiefs, they survived that game off of Buffalo Bills missed field goal, winning the game 27-24. Um, what the what kind of is why am I chopping over it? Anyway, what's the highlight of that game is that the offense, they probably had one of their best, more cohesive games of the year. They Patrick Mahomes, he did his thing, throwing for over 200 something yards. But also Travis Kelsey, Chiefs tight end Travis Kelsey, seemed to be returning to form a little bit, having 5 catches for 75 yards and 2 touchdowns. When you add in the fact that Chiefs running back Isaiah Pacheco had 97 yards on the ground. So really, an overall really concise game. Um, a concise game for this team to help them pull out the win. So this matchup in particular is going to be real interesting because number one, you have the two best quarterbacks left in the league right now, as far as like the playoffs go. So you have Lamar Jackson, who's been in MVP conversation here and there, and you also have Patrick Mahomes. Now Mahomes hasn't had the greatest of seasons in his short career, but he's still been able to been in a been the quote unquote MVP for this team, regardless. So with these two guys under center, one matchup that's going to be highlighted in this particular game is going to come from the defenses, and so right now as it stands, the Ravens and the Chiefs are like 1 and 2 in sacks. Baltimore being number one, Kansas City being number two. So that's going to be a real important factor for both of these teams, how their defenses are going to get to the quarterback. So with Mahomes, he might face a whole bunch of different types of blitzes coming at him from either way. Same thing with Lamar Jackson. Lamar, he's known to get all over the field, scramble all over the pocket. So Spagnuolo, he's going to probably call a game where, the blitzes are going to come from either the edge, the inside, something. Probably, both the edge and the inside. So definitely look for that to get Lamar on the ground. So right now, as it stands, the way I'm feeling about this game is I'm probably going to go with the Chiefs to win this game. And so I know for a lot of the season, criticism has been labeled, has been thrown at the Chiefs, and they've been justified. You know what I'm saying? Chiefs have not played their best offensive football, and that's pretty much like their identity. Ever since Mahomes stepped on the field, stepped on the center for this team, they've been known to put points on the board, and that really hasn't been the case. Hasn't been the case for Mahomes, and in particularly, it really hasn't been the case for this receiver group. You know what I'm saying? So for most of the regular season, that group has been a letdown. However, since the playoffs have started, you know, it seems like all of those criticisms and whatever those mistakes, it kind of went away a little bit. You saw it in the Miami game. They played in that frigid, cold weather game with the winds going crazy, and Mahomes was still able to get off like 250 something yards. You know, rookie wide receiver Rasheed Rice for the Chiefs, he was able to record a 100-yard game in that game. So you know what I'm saying? You're seeing that receiver group step up. The following week, you know what I'm saying, which was actually, the game against Buffalo last week, you seen the receiver group, you know what I'm saying? They didn't have a 100-yard game, but they were making big plays. Montez Valdez Scantling, MVS for short. He had a huge catch coming out of that second half. You know what I'm saying? And so um, I think what it is, like, this team just really they've been in the playoffs and they've had deep playoff runs these last few seasons. You know what I'm saying? Uh ever since Mahomes took over that starting job. So they have all the experience. The moment is not too big for them right now. You can't really say the same for the Baltimore Ravens. And it's not this, who knows whether or not this moment is big for them or not, but I mean, they don't have the experience that Mahomes has in these last, few years. Last year Lamar Jackson wasn't even in the lineup, you know what I'm saying? And they got bounced. They got bounced in the first round, and a lot of their playoff runs have, since Lamar has came into this league, has been a little one and done playoff runs. You know what I'm saying? There's only one season where he's actually like won a playoff game, but he got knocked out, second round or whatever. So this is kind of new territory for him, you know what I'm saying, and for this Ravens team as well. You know what I'm saying? So the Chiefs, they've been through this. They know what to do. They know how to handle it. So I'm going to go ahead and roll with the Chiefs on this one, just for their experience alone and just for how they've been playing in this postseason so far. So next up is going to be the San Francisco 49ers hosting the Detroit Lions. So last week, 49ers, similar situation to the Chiefs. They had to pull out a win at the last minute. And with them, they also had a choppy start. So they got out there, you know what I'm saying, hosting it. They got out there facing the Green Bay Packers, who were coming off a big win against the Dallas Cowboys. So Green Bay was kind of feeling themselves. They went in there, threw a couple of punches to the Niners, and you know what I'm saying, the Niners had to adjust to it. And so, you know what I'm saying, eventually the Niners, they got on their feet and, you know what I'm saying, they regrouped. Now, the interesting part about that is San Francisco had to do this without Deebo Samuel. Deebo, he got a head injury in that first quarter, and he was able to come back from that, but he ended up leaving the game because of a shoulder injury, which has kind of left him out of practice for most of this week. I think today he actually came back to practice, but despite all that, the 49ers were still able to pull it off thanks to a last minute touchdown run by Christian McCaffrey. Now, as far as the Detroit Lions go, they also had a close game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Lions offense got contributions from just about everybody, and that's kind of been a theme for them this entire playoff run. Most notably, they got 74 yards rushing from Jahmyr Gibbs, rookie Jahmyr Gibbs, and so he's been an important piece for this Lions offense for most of the season. You know what I'm saying? So. They really, you know what I'm saying, got into their bag of just putting the game away in that one. Um, the thing about both of these teams, they're kind of different in class. Even though the Lions are a little, I'm not going to say a tad bit better. I was going to say they are better than what the Lions. Did I say Lions? Yeah. And even though the Lions are better than what than what the Niners were facing in in Green Bay last week, Lions still don't really measure up to the degree of the 49ers. And that's just facts. Niners. I'm gonna just do the cities. San Francisco. San Francisco has shined as a complete team like all year. You know what I'm saying? I mentioned it last year going into their game. They got everything you need: offense, defense, just about every position, running back, linebacker, wide receiver, corner, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? They have all that. And it's gotten them to the number one seed, as evident as this season. Now, the thing that has kind of been a thorn in their side is, they struggled when they've had injuries. And most notably, that injury is Deebo Samuel. So I don't know if you can recall back to the Cleveland Browns game when he got injured in that game, and also left that game. They ended up losing. You know what I'm saying? And so it was the first of a 3-game. It was the first game of a 3-game losing streak that they lost, and he also missed those particular games. When he came back, they acted like nothing ever happened. So he's definitely a factor in that. As of right now, looks like he's going to play. And even last week, with him being out that early in the game, they still were able to pull off a win. So things could be a little bit different in the fortune of the 49ers. Now, as far as the Lions go, it's a tad bit different story. So throughout the regular season, they weren't really great against teams with winning records. And I mean, they had the game against the Chiefs um, for the season opener. Like they shocked the world with that one for sure. But as far as other teams go, not that much successful. And even with the Chiefs game, you kind of look back on that, and there was no Chris Jones. I think Kelsey missed that game as well, and so it was a Chiefs team that was kind of caught off guard, if you will. So not really the Chiefs team that turned things around somewhat, but a team that if that Chiefs team continued on the path that they continued on from season one, we probably wouldn't be talking about them in the playoffs right now. But I say that to say this. The Lions struggled against teams with winning records during the regular season. It seems like they got it together towards the end of the regular season. And, that could have started with the Dallas Cowboys. They almost won that game. However, if it wasn't for um, that yeah, excuse me, if it wasn't for that call, then things could have went a little bit different for them. So it is what it is with that. Now, a thing that's going to be like a real factor is also the defense in this game as well. The difference is this is really going to be about their running defense. So just like the Ravens and the Chiefs, the Niners and Lions are kind of back to back as far as like rankings, particularly in the rushing defense department. Uh, 49ers, they're ranked third in rushing defense, while the Lions are actually ranked second. That's going to be real, real, real important considering that the Lions defense is going to have to face Christian McCaffrey, who scored the game-winning touchdown last week. And the 49ers, they're going to have to face a 1-2 punch in David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. Now, Jahmyr Gibbs has kind of been like a speed back, if you will, a speed spell back. You know what I'm saying? Kind of come in for Montgomery in relief or whatever. But he can pretty much do it all, really. If you Yeah, he can pretty much do it all. So rushing, catching out the backfield, you know what I'm saying? He's that type of running back. And so that's going to be a real challenge for the 49ers. And, you know what I'm saying? It's not like they don't have the personnel to do that. Dre Greenlaw, expect Fred Warner. Yeah, they got those. As long as they got those two back there, the run defense or them just covering the running backs should be no real issue. So they should be good, and 49ers should be good in that department. Um, another another matchup or quote unquote factor that's going to be in this game for both teams, um, the wide receivers. So with the Lions, that group is led by Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's third in the league in receiving yards. Um, with the 49ers, they have Brandon Ayuk, who's actually second in yards per reception in the league. So St. Brown, he's a solid. He's not more than solid. He's he's their best receiver, obviously. But they also have a whole group of receivers. You know what I'm saying, that's willing to step up. And you saw that with Josh Reynolds in these two games in the postseason. You saw that with Jameson Williams in the postseason. In this postseason. So it's going to be an interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how they stack up and how they battle each other out, especially with Deebo Samuel, who may or may not be in the lineup for the Niners. But the Niners also have George Kittle at tight end, and he's very prone to making a big play, not just catching the deep pass, but you can toss it to him, and he can really get some serious yak yards going for him. So, with all that being said, um, I'm gonna I'm gonna have to roll with the 49ers on this one. And so, to me, it all comes down to these few things. The Lions, they're still new in this moment. So you heard, they're a good story right now. You heard this is going to be their first, NFC championship in almost 30 something years. You know what I'm saying? They got a whole new group after Matthew Stafford, after they traded Matthew Stafford away. You know what I'm saying? It's a real good story, but it's still a team that's like kind of new in this moment in the past few seasons. And I can say that because you can compare it to the 49ers, who's actually playing in their fourth NFC championship in the last 5 years. You know what I'm saying? So they were there last year. This might be the third straight one, and then they skipped one or whatever. But this is the fourth one that they're going to be playing in the last 5 years. You know, so this team, they're there. This coach has been there. Like they feel the pressure, and they're probably more hungry to get to a Super Bowl again, more than the Lions are. You know what I'm saying? Like just going there time and time again and just missing out on the opportunity. Now they have a chance to actually get up there and, you know what I'm saying, really just punch it in. You know what I'm saying? So um they have a chance to, go get go get revenge, Uh so the so with Shannon, they have a chance to either face the Chiefs or the Ravens for their revenge. The Niners, they lost to the Chiefs in, a couple Super Bowls back. You know what I'm saying? And so Shanahan wants to get back and, go go get that lick back, especially if they face, and especially same can be said if they face the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore embarrassed them on Christmas Day just last month. So of course, Shanahan wants to see that team again. He probably wants to see Baltimore more so than he wants to see the Chiefs because he wants to get a shot at seeing. Because he actually feels like I feel like this team is a lot more legit than the Super Bowl team they had previously. So I think they can really do some stuff with this quarterback, this wide receiver group, this running back group, a lot more than their previous Super Bowl team. So if he can get this team to the Super Bowl and they can face the Ravens, he's really going to like be hungry to get that revenge. So I think they're going to be motivated by that to really just kind of rectify and correct, their past mistakes or shortcomings. And so, in addition to that, they have a more impressive resume than the Lions. I mentioned about them beating the. I mentioned about the Lions, struggling against the winning teams. That's not really the case for the 49ers. They've beat some pretty decent teams. They beat some pretty good teams. Just look at what they did to the Cowboys and the Eagles during the regular season. You know what I'm saying? And when they've been good, they've been good. You know, when the Niners have been a complete team, they've been amazing, dominant. You know what I'm saying? When they really like lock in, they're good. It's hard to beat them. Now when they're bad, they're bad. Hence the Ravens game. Brock Purdy, San Francisco quarterback Brock Purdy, threw 4 interceptions in that game, and they got smacked. You know what I'm saying? Got embarrassed. But when they lock in, they blow you out, they handle their business. So that's why I'm taking the 49ers in this game. So that's all I got for y'all this week. Taking Chiefs and 49ers for this week. If you're watching this video on YouTube, like my video, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching this on Facebook, facebook.com/BrandonBlog. Like my page. I got plenty more videos like this coming throughout the year. So yeah, and just comment who y'all think You know what I'm saying? Wherever you're watching this video, comment who y'all think is actually going to win or actually win these games this weekend. So I'm Brandon Simmons for BrandonSimmons.biz. Holla black.